What up, Buzz? You tapped in? Okay, Goose, you tapped in too? All right, Chicago, y'all tapped in? All right, boys, let's crack 'em. Feel like Mike in the fourth with the ball in my hands and I'm taking a shot. I'm the king in the madhouse on Madison, whether I make it or not. Now the crowd going crazy, they watching the play and I'm watching the clock. Got my shot in the air and the buzzer go off and I'm watching it drop. This team did things, MJ shot City 6 rings. D-Rose too big, too fast, too strong, history. And we good on that, put Jilla on the track and we good on wax. 3, 2, 1, everybody say Bulls on tap. Bulls on tap. Our city pretty and gritty. Benny the bull in the crowd getting hyper and litty. Me, I'm so drippy, it's slippery. Nothing offends me. Banners on banners, we winners. We got the stats in the news. Go and subscribe. Hang out with Buzzy and Goose. Tapping with us, we the truth. Jilla just murdered the booth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I'm your boy Buzz, joined by my dude Goose, aka Bull Scripted, and we're here to recap a Chicago Bulls victory. It's been a while since that happened. We just come off a 5-game losing streak after beating the Pistons tonight, 114-108. Before we get into this one, be sure to go on TapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Bulls on Tap and on TapSportsNet. Following Goose at Bull Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. Also, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, please leave those platforms. Go over to YouTube. Subscribe to the On Tap Sportsnet YouTube channel. Hop in the comment section, and let's talk Bulls basketball. Goose, this game sucked. Like, just through and through. It was not, I hated it. It wasn't fun. It sucked. The Bulls were losing the duration of the game to Detroit and came out like they didn't want to play. So I felt bad the whole time until the MVP. How are you feeling?
No, the Bulls literally lost every quarter of this game and then won the fourth 30-17. So that is definitely the signs of the team that came out a little uninterested. And I did get to catch the beginning of the game. I was able to sneak away to my break for the first quarter. And the start didn't seem like too lethargic. It was more so the end of the first quarter that was horrible.
Yeah, I'd like to piggyback off that. When they came out at first, I had the fucking tweets lined up. I'm going to start talking, right? I'm going to start talking shit to Detroit fans immediately. I'm going to start running my mouth. And I kind of pulled back a little bit, not because I thought they'd lose it, but let the game progress a little bit, because Detroit's coming on they came into the game on a 3-game winning streak, their longest winning streak of the season. They came into a game, even though they were missing Hayes and Stewart, but Marvin Bagley's here. He's been playing pretty well for him since he's come over. Not so much tonight. But okay, I digress, whatever. But the Bulls came out causing turnovers, okay? Feeding Vooch in the paint, okay? Doing these things that I loved to see. And then it was all gone. Just didn't feel like doing it anymore. Started playing down to the level of competition. Started not defending. Started falling asleep on defense. And Detroit started taking advantage of that time and time again. And the Bulls found themselves down and bailed out by DeMar DeRozan in this game. Zach didn't have it defensively. DeMar didn't have it defensively. The one thing I will say that I'm irritated about, why did we go away from Vucevic offensively? They stopped kicking it to him in the paint, and the guy was 8 for 11 tonight. He had, I think, 8 points in the first quarter. So I don't know, man. I don't get it.
I don't get that either. When you have the hot hand and you have a mismatch tonight with their, best big being Bagley out there, like, take advantage of that. There's no reason not to, especially because Vooch, I believe, had the best start to this game of any of the Bulls altogether in the first half. If I counted correctly on my little sneak peek, there was only 14 points scored by guys not named Vooch, Zach, or DeMar in that first half.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is the one telling thing if you take a peek at this box score. When you look at the teams, the Pistons had 3, 6, 7 guys in double figures and 2 guys with 9 points, so 1 point short. The Bulls had 3 guys in double figures, and only Io and Kobe had more than, I guess Derrick Jones had 6. But when you look at that, and then you go on Twitter, and you see the remarks of people saying that, oh, well, Lonzo and Caruso and Pat These aren't valid excuses. Those guys aren't stars. You don't get to complain about missing them. And then you look at what happens when they're not here, and then you oh, yes, I am. I am allowed to complain about that. Because our bench scoring is abysmal.
Oh, it's terrible. If Kobe's not on, it doesn't matter. If Kobe White's not on, you're not getting bench scoring. It's not happening. Period. Point blank. Period. End of story. It's not happening. And we found that to be true as he struggles. Look at this 5-game losing streak what the bench has given us. When Kobe is not hitting his shots, call it a day. Because if the starters aren't pouring on points, the Bulls are fucked. Period.
Well, not even the starters. If your 3 stars aren't pouring on points.
Right.
Because Javonte was scoreless in the first half. Came out kind of hot, with some aggression in the third there, getting some early points. But otherwise, we're just really not getting help. And luckily, we adjusted in the fourth and started attacking the rim. And we got into the penalty early, and we got to the line a lot, which is not something that had happened recently.
I just don't understand sometimes, man, what, a lot of people say it's Billy. A lot of people say it's the personnel adjustments on the fly. I mean, you got to, when they're falling asleep defensively, and maybe it's just a talent thing and it's Zach's injury. I mean, I can make up a million excuses, but the fact that these guys can't seem to figure out when they're getting beat defensively on how to adjust to at least, if you can't stop it, at least minimize it, like try to, put up a wall if you can, and they just don't. That is something that just drives me crazy. And yeah, the fourth quarter was fun because like you said, we got beaten every other quarter. It doesn't matter until after the fourth, though. Thank God. But dude, if this kind of game happens against Cleveland with the lackadaisical shit coming up on Saturday, this team's gonna get blown out. And it's just true. One point you made I want to go back to is yes, the people that said, Lonzo, Caruso, Patrick Williams. There was a huge Bulls Twitter argument today. Did you get to see it?
I did not. I didn't even know this was an inner fight thing. I thought this was all outside noise that I had been reading previously.
No.
So there was an internal Bulls Nation fight today.
Yeah.
What else do you expect in the middle of a 5-game losing streak?
Well, right. So this fight came down to one of our buddies and some new guys on the block for Locked On, and Joe and the Locked On crew kind of got into it a little bit about Joe's opinion to their opinion and stuff. And I had wrote respectfully. So I'm always going to be respectful. I don't want to be a dick. But I told Joe that I disagree. Well, right. No, well, that's not true, actually. You're a way better person than me. But, I love you, man. But anyway, so, I had wrote to Joe, like, Joe's point was, you have these 2 top 25 players on your team. And we're craving Lonzo, Caruso, Patrick Williams to come back. But we already have 2 top 25 players. So why are we worried about these guys coming back? Shouldn't the top 25 guys be able to make some things happen? I want to ask you, before I keep on with this point, just off the cuff right now, do you believe that Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are 2 top 25 players in the NBA right now?
For this season, yes.
For this
season, maybe not.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. For right now, you say they're top 25.
Right now, yes.
Okay, I agree with you. And I agree with Joe in that sense. I mean, they're 2 top 25 players. Where I disagree with Joe in this sense is I think even though you're a top 25 player, you can still be complimented to raise the level of your game up. And I feel like with Zoe and Caruso, that helped raise Zach LaVine's game. Obviously, he's the 70% thing, but, hey, but DeMar DeRozan, he played with these guys for 30-plus games this year, and he's been putting up an MVP bid. Even when they were here, he's putting up an MVP bid. They help raise his game. So these role players are very important. So, yes, you do have a reason to bitch because a lot of our scoring came, again, we've said this in the last episode, transition offense, getting the steal on defense, getting the board and running on the break, go. That's how we were scoring in bunches. When you don't have that anymore, you have to find other ways to do it. And this is where we lack the true superstar. Okay, I put quotations around it. If you're listening to us on a podcasting platform right now and not watching us on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, air quotes, superstar, because DeMar and Zach fall into the iso ball category when they start losing. They forget I sometimes feel like they forget how to play with their teammates.
They go into hero mode.
Right. They go into
And
hero
right now,
mode.
they really don't have a reason outside of Vooch not to go into hero mode.
100%.
If Kobe's not on, you don't have anybody you can trust. I mean, Kobe or I are really your only options.
Yes, 100%. So that's where I think they're top 25 players, but I'm trying to prove the point on how some key role players are so valuable to these teams and to these kind of guys, because I'll tell you what, man, and I don't want this to happen. So please, I don't want my words misconstrued. I don't want anybody in the Eastern Conference to get hurt that we have to run through, right? But I still believe if every team is healthy, I still feel the Bulls have a shot to get to the ECF. I don't think they're going to win a championship this year. I'm just being honest. I think that they can get there. After the moves with Harden, going with Embiid, and then Ben Simmons' eventual debut with the Nets, it scared the shit out of me. Not to mention, I shouldn't be disrespecting the Milwaukee Bucks, even though the state of Wisconsin is terrible. But, I mean, sorry. I just had to throw that out there. But, I just feel that the role players are important, and they should not be undermined. So that's my whole spiel there.
Well, unfortunately for the Bulls, and it is what worried some fans and national media around the United States here, Zach and DeMar aren't two-way players. They're offensive stars, and their offensive talent is elite enough to put them in that top 25 category. But because they are not that two-way caliber star, and they're not in the top 10 of the best players in the league, you have to supplement them with guys that fit their weaknesses. And those two guys have been out 30-plus games this season. When you have one or the other, you can make it work with Io's emergence just because he can kind of play that backup point guard role for you. And he is that defensive stopper, which we saw tonight, especially in the fourth when the Bulls seemingly decided to play on both ends, similar to the start of the game. Lost it for 2.5 quarters. But, this team is built literally structurally around being whole. The balance,
and that's
the
a testament. That is a testament to Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley. Because they knew they weren't good. They think Zach is a star, but they knew they did not have a superstar. By adding somebody to take pressure off of Zach,
they knew absolutely everything that national media assumed was going to happen to this team defensively and offensively was true. You needed the connectors. You didn't need a ball-dominant point guard that was going to take the ball out of these guys' hands.
Right. Yep.
You got Lonzo. You got the perfect guy for that. Awesome ball mover, awesome three-point shooter at this point of his career, and all-NBA caliber defense. Who else did you go prioritize? Alex Caruso. Somebody who does almost those exact same things at a cheaper price point. So you added the two statistically. I don't know if you've seen that chart floating around out there on the Twitter sphere. But there is not two guys with a defensive LeBron anywhere in the stratosphere of Caruso or Zoe. Nobody. Right. Nobody. So, to try to minimize them because they're not top 25 guys. They're not all-stars. They may never be all-stars. Diminishes the fact that because Zach and DeMar are on the back end of that 25, and most people didn't expect to mention DeMar's name in that top 25 this season, that you need these guys. It's not a question. This roster was built on fit and balance, and without those two, you're relying on iso ball and Vooch post-ups when you decide to do that, which is not very consistent.
Right. I love that you said that. Balance, togetherness, that is what this team was built around. I mean, every player seems to complement each other. And that's why in the beginning of the year, I think we were so hyped. Listen, I'm still hyped. The Chicago Bulls are still in great shape. They're not in the play-in. They're going into the playoffs, no doubt about it. They're starting to get whole again. There's some really great things on the horizon, I think. But I think the reason we're not so hyped up as we were is because we haven't gotten to see that in 2 months. It
almost feels like a different year.
Right. And how quickly people forget that this team, again, was top 10 in offensive and defensive efficiency when it was a whole singular unit outside of Patrick Williams getting hurt within the first 5 games. After that, until Caruso and Ball went down, that's when the drop really happened. And, I just, like I said, I love Collie. Collie's a good dude. And people just are so ignorant. And I don't care if we're on the air, people listen, get pissed off or not. Jesus Christ, treat people with respect. You don't need to call somebody a fucking idiot because they have a different basketball opinion than you.
Well, especially when you're approaching a conversation with somebody who's known for trying to get a rise out of you.
Right. Joe's just having fun, dude.
Like, Joe is he's been around sports a very long time. You're not going to legitimately out-debate him if you try to break down the game. When we had Joe on our show, he let everybody know how often he actually plays basketball with a group of guys that play basketball pretty regularly as well. Joe's a shit stirrer.
Yeah, he just likes to have fun.
That is what Twitter is for.
Right.
Like, is Cowley a respectable reporter when he needs to be? Most of the times, yes. When he's on Twitter, he's pushing your buttons. He's trying to get a rise out of you. So by giving him what you want, you're never going to win.
It was just so wild. Like I said, you've disagreed with his opinion. I've disagreed with his opinion. Bulls Twitter, just be better. You don't need to insult people to their fucking core because you don't agree with their basketball opinion.
Don't attack somebody personally because you don't agree with what they're saying about your favorite team.
Right. It's a little over the top.
The likelihood of them intentionally stirring your pot are pretty high.
Right. It's just insane to me. But, I know that we didn't break down the game. We got into that conversation. So I just want to break down this fourth quarter for a moment. 16 points in the fourth quarter by DeMar DeRozan. Obviously, we've gotten to see Embiid and Jokic and what they've done this year. And I think I finally come to terms with the fact that DeRozan probably will not be named the MVP unless the Bulls go on, like I told you, go on a crazy run to end this year out, end up first seed, whatever. But this is the shit that he's been doing all year, and just game ball, and kudos to him entirely for putting the offensive load on his back and getting us that dub. Zach didn't have a bad game himself. And I want to say that the Bulls finally got back on track in the free throw department, which is just beautiful to see because they had 35 free throws tonight, Goose. 35. And they converted on 31 of them. DeMar took 13. Zach took 11. Zach finished tonight 7-14 from the floor, 50%. Did go 1 for 7 from downtown. Not a lot of pep in that step tonight. I'm sure you noticed that while you were watching, even in the fourth. Not a ton of pep in the step.
That defensive play in the fourth where I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I think Zach might have been how did Billy wear it stiff tonight, maybe a little bit in his knee, but he had 25 points, 5 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. So good game for Zach overall. 36 points for DeMar DeRozan. He added 8 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals. DeMar DeRozan didn't have a foul tonight. It's good for him. He went 12 for 25 from the field, 0 for 1 from downtown, and he went 12 for 13 from the free throw line. The only other scorer in double figures for the Chicago Bulls was Nikola Vucevic, 8 for 11 tonight. He went 0 for 1 from downtown, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals for Vooch. The Bulls only attempted 15 three-pointers tonight, in which they only converted 3, which is good for 20% on the night. And the Bulls still won this game 114-108. Yeah, that's fucking wild. They out-rebounded Detroit by 1 as well. They only had 33 team rebounds for the Bulls tonight. Total, Detroit had 32. The Bulls had 19 assists to Detroit's 25. The Bulls did have the 13 steals, and they caused 16 Detroit turnovers. The Bulls had 11 themselves. So that's
sometimes I forget that not everybody listens to this live, and they could not see me raising my eyebrows at you.
Yeah, no, I know it's wild when you say. How often is it that you win a fight? Dude, I feel like saying this all the time. We only out-rebounded them by 1, but how often is it that you win a fucking game when you only make 3 3-pointers in today's NBA?
No, that doesn't happen, rare. Especially when your all-star caliber center has 6 rebounds.
Yeah.
And you out-rebounded the opposing team?
I mean, yeah, which is wild. I mean, Detroit had 32 and the Bulls had 33. And the leading rebounder was DeMar DeRozan tonight with 8 rebounds. So, but DeRozan also played 41 minutes to Vooch's 29. So, Vooch didn't even get 30. But I mean, the injury. So maybe that has something to do with it, monitoring him a little bit, not trying to push him too hard.
Coping with being scared of Embiid. I mean, the tight hamstring.
Yeah. Oh, that's dirty, man. Yeah. I wouldn't want to play that motherfucker either. He's so good, dude. I mean, it's just
he's not fair. He's not.
No, he's a cheat code. I know we're getting off topic again, but I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Did you see the graphic that was put out that I don't know who made the comment. I'm going to look for it right now, but they said that Shaq could not have guarded Joel Embiid. What do you think about that?
I mean, are we talking like Magic Shaq before all the extra weight was put on? Because I could see that Shaq adjusting to playing some perimeter defense on an opposing big. But
They have a picture
like,
of Lakers Shaq here, and it was Jay Williams, former Chicago Bull, Jay Williams, that said that.
I don't think that Jay Williams is too wrong in his statement for the sense that Shaq going up against somebody equally as big as him, but 10 times as more skilled. Really, yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked out very well.
Well, it's just funny to me because when you think about Shaq, me and my dad were talking about this today, so I wanted to bring it up to you. Is like, you're talking about Shaq, you know, and how great he was, and then now you're talking about, man, I don't think he can guard Embiid, and you're like, huh? And it's like something clicks in your head, like, holy shit, man! I think we're watching a really great player do some special things, you know.
The thing with Embiid, and obviously we don't even want to talk about that game anymore, but here we are talking about Embiid as Bulls fans. This potential was always there for him. And the injuries and all that were the only thing standing in this guy's way. And now that at least seems to be in check and kind of under control, if longevity isn't taken away from this man, no, you're talking about scary stuff because the things that he can do are limitless. I'm sure they showed it during the game against the Bulls, I'm pretty sure, where they got MJ's fadeaways going on, and it's just mimicked like to a T. And it's like, he's not supposed to be able to do that. And he started playing basketball so late. You touched on it on the podcast when we played the Sixers.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell would this guy be doing if he started basketball as young as me and you played?
That's what I'm saying. It's like that. And I think about like a guy like Tim Anderson for the White Sox who started playing baseball really late in his career and how good he's become. I look at this kind of shit and I'm like, my God, like Embiid, if he would have started playing in it younger, how much more crisp he'd probably be and how fucking scary that is and how much I hate that this Eastern Conference has to be fucking insanely tough now. You know what I mean?
I mean, early in the season, we got to rest on the fact that his co-star was not playing and wasn't going to play. And then they pull off this deal, and now you're dealing with two superstars. Even if James Harden isn't quite Houston James that we're used to seeing, but the man's sprinting up and down the stairs again. So who knows what's going to happen there?
Yeah, I do want to throw out another little fun fact from the game tonight for the Bulls that they did win. They beat Detroit, the Pistons. I'm sorry, my fun nickname for them. They get peed on is what I was alluding to. Anyway, Billy Donovan and DeMar DeRozan cited some loud words being used to challenge each other during timeouts. Donovan said DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Tristan Thompson took the lead. What was said? DeRozan. Things that I can't repeat, but it got everybody going. I'm glad. I'm glad someone in that huddle said something
that I can't repeat.
Yeah, I'm glad someone in that huddle said something like, if we're going to lose to Detroit right now, we're going to have a bunch of fucking
We're on a 5-game losing streak. We were in the 1 seed. If we lose to the Detroit Pistons and fall into the play-in,
I'll throw up.
Yeah, no.
I would have thrown up. I wouldn't have done an episode.
I was scared. I mean, when I got to turn the game on in the fourth, we were down. Detroit also had their biggest lead in the fourth.
I know. And that's the thing is like, you know, I told you in the beginning of the episode, I wanted to start talking shit because I hate Detroit. I just want to start running my mouth, talking smack, and I held myself. But now, you know, that we won, I'm going to be talking that shit again. You know, so.
Yeah. How do you win a whole entire game and then just flub in the fourth and let DeMar score one less point than your entire team in that quarter?
It's like, you know where the fucking ball is going. You know, like, how do you not stop it? They prove that no one else on the fucking floor can do anything outside of Zach and Vooch. But Vooch, like I said, he had some minutes there in the fourth, but Tristan got some time there in the fourth too. So definitely some insane shit. But I do agree with Jeremy in here. Play some effing defense. I'm with you on that, brother. They need to start doing that. And hopefully their captain of the defense comes back here soon to kind of lead that charge and wake them up in that department again. Because if they don't play defense, we're gonna get more of what is happening.
You would think with the results that you saw at the beginning of the game, while playing active defense, and then in the fourth, when you were forced to because you were down 7 points and you're about to lose to the fucking Pistons, like, you're capable of this. Like, you know you can do this. Why do you have to be up against the ropes against a horrible team to decide to play defense.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like I love the quote that DeMar and those guys like lit a fire under everybody. But
Where's that fire to begin the game?
Exactly. And where was that fire within you to begin the game? And that's what I asked, because I love what DeMar did tonight. He got us that W. But dude, like, your defensive lapses at times that you need to have it all. You're coming off a 5, like you said, you were in the first seed. You go on a 5-game losing streak and you start fucking dropping like a sack of potatoes, man. You got to come out and you got to start fucking doing it on both ends, because if you don't, you're going to fall into the play-in. And no one wants to be in a fucking play-in. The play-in is stupid, first of all. It's fucking stupid. Stop changing my sports, America. Leave them alone and how they were before. Just 8 fucking teams per conference, leave it alone. The stupid play-in, but we're falling. We're going the wrong way. Awesome fucking speech in the huddle during a timeout. Do it before the game next time, because on Saturday...
Before the game.
Yeah, because on Saturday, a little speech in the huddle ain't going to do shit. You're playing a dangerous Cleveland Cavaliers team. Doesn't matter if Jared Allen's out. Are you seeing the shit Darius Garland's doing over there? That is who we're playing.
Hey, we got Io. It's going to put the clamps on. It's okay.
Oh, I sure the hell hope so.
It's okay.
That fucking Darius Garland, man, he is unbelievable.
No, I mean, you know how bad I wanted him in the draft. He barely played any games, and I was pushing that button all pre-draft. I really hoped that, not playing much at Vandy had him fall to the Bulls at 7, but that wasn't the case there. And no, he's turned out to be better than even I expected. Like, I knew he had a handle and I knew he had the shot. I didn't know he was going to turn Cleveland into a potential contender with Evan Mobley. Like, they lost Colin Sexton. Like, how funny is it that the Cavs have sucked forever? Now Colin Sexton's gone, and obviously it's not good to celebrate somebody missing games because of injuries, but the guy that needed the ball and took way too many shots is gone, and now this team is just booming. So, like, oof.
Even their bench. Their bench is decent.
They're a deep team.
They are. They really are. And I mean, it's just, you look up and down. They scored 127 points and won on yesterday. It's Tuesday, correct? Yesterday was Tuesday. On Tuesday night, they played Indiana, and they won 127 to 124 behind Darius Garland's 41 points and 13 assists.
See, but that's a scary point, but also a non-scary point because the Pacers aren't that great.
Well, I understand that too, but I mean, again, if you look at this game with them, they actually started losing that very badly in the second and the third quarter. They lost it, and then these between Garland and Mobley brought them back. They have a good mixture of scoring and defense within their starting lineup, and with the size is going to be hard for the Bulls to maintain. It's going to be hard for them to fight, and it again, light the fire under your ass on Saturday before you come out of the fucking tunnel.
Yeah, don't treat this like the Pistons just because it's the Cavs and they used to be bad.
Exactly. This isn't the year post LeBron Cavs.
What are we sitting at season series? I feel like we've been pretty successful against them so far, though.
Against the Cavs, we have not.
We have not?
No, I think, aren't we tied? I would have to go and look, and I need to figure out how to do that. So I'm going to do that right now, and you will carry the podcast as I do that because we are live. So I can't.
So no, I mean, we get to see Lauri Markkanen, which we touched on the other show.
We're not tied.
We're not
down
tied?
No, we're down 2. I'm sorry. We are tied. I can't fucking count, Goose. What the fuck's the matter with me? They won the first meeting 115 to 92. The second meeting, we won 117 to 104. So they took one at their house. They took one at their house. We took one at our house.
Okay. No, the spanking we laid on them at home must have just resonated in my head a lot more than getting spanked in Cleveland. Because, I swear we were 2-0. So, no, we have a second game against them to close out the year.
Mm-hmm. We have another one. We play them on the 12th, which is obviously on Saturday, and then the 26th again. We play them. So twice in the same month there.
And that is a season series that we have to have at this point of the season, the way that the standings are sitting. So,
you want to own the tiebreaker. You want
to own the tiebreaker, and they're currently ahead of us in the standings. So we're chasing.
Yep. So they got to come out and play a really good game on Saturday night. I will be in attendance for that one. I promise. I will do my best to record a Bulls on Tap with Goose after that game concludes and we make it back to the Burbs. Yeah, like I said, I have nothing to add to what they need to do to win. Light the fire in your ass before you leave the tunnel.
Don't let Lauri Markkanen embarrass you.
That would happen when I was there too. It would. It would just fucking happen. He'd come out and drop 50, and I'd fucking leave. I would be so mad. I don't even know if I could sit through it. Not because
I'm pretty sure Lauri hit season highs against us in one of the games.
He did. He fucking did. Yeah. Him and Wendell Carter like to ball against us. Real good. So.
I can't blame him, man.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Imagine getting drafted to a historic franchise like the Chicago Bulls and like what that means to you getting drafted there and being so excited and having a chance to be the centerpiece of such an amazing team. And then you get Jim Boyland. But by the time you're done getting Jim Boyland, you're so tainted and just despised by the people around you in your organization that they're like, we got to trade these guys. We got to start fresh. We need new faces. Doesn't even matter if we do good with these faces because the people don't like these faces anymore. So, yeah, no, they've definitely got more than salt in their mouth when it comes to Chicago, and they're going to give it to us for a long time. So, got to be prepared for that. Don't let Lauri embarrass you. Io's got to put the clamps on Darius Garland, and got to take advantage of the fact that Jared Allen won't be there, and the size with Tristan and Vooch can at least somewhat be matched.
Right. Absolutely. Well, you got anything else to add before we get out of here, man?
No, I just said way too much.
No, you didn't say. No, you did not. You said just the perfect amount is what you did. Everybody be sure to go on OnTapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at BullsOnTap, at OnTapSportsNet. Following Goose at BullScripted, me at BuzzOnTap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. Also, head on over to the YouTube, OnTap Sportsnet, YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. Hop in the comment section. Talk with all of our friends after every single Chicago Bulls game. We'll be back hopefully on Saturday if I don't drink too much after the Bulls beat the Cavaliers. Speaking it into existence, Bulls beat the Cavaliers on Saturday. Let's go, Bulls.